Yo! Welcome to another episode of Gaming with Mr. C. And today, we're going to be doing none other than breaking down the new smash hit Paper Mario Origami King.
Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C.
Guys, and you know how we do it here. We always start off with breaking down the story. And guess what, guys? Keep it a secret. Shh. Spoiler alert! Princess Peach gets captured! Kidnapped! Taken away! Again. Oh, and that's kind of really the genius of Mario, is it not? Is that every story at its base is Princess Peach getting the old snatch. But it's what they do with the story from there to Mario rescuing her that really makes it unique and different each and every time. And the fact that they can retell the story 15, 20, 30, I don't know, 1,000 times is quite impressive, really. But in this Paper Mario, we have the Origami King. That is right, the Japanese art of folding the old paper. Really? Really? Your first time on screen and you just... It's hard to find good help these days. This guy can save Princess Peach 20 times, but you ask him to hold a piece of paper? He freezes up! But that's okay. Guys, so the Origami King, basically, at the start of this game, you find that this guy known as the Origami King comes and takes Princess Peach and her castle, lifts it in the sky, and wraps 5 streamers around it to secure it from anybody getting to it. They really nail home the paper theme in this game, and that's fine by me. But you actually have his sister, Ollie, who's actually inherently good and wants to help your boy Mario out along his journey. Now, she also possesses the origami magic within her, so you can actually learn some of these same skills to kind of help out your boy over here along the journey. Now, as far as the story, it's nothing groundbreaking here. It's interesting enough, if you will, but I guess really the charm of Paper Mario has always been the way that they could spin the RPG and the paper element into the story, which is done really well here. I mean, you got the 5 color streamers, which is very paper made, if you will. And then, of course, you get to team up with Bowser, which is kind of cool. It's very rare that you get to do that. So, guys, you know, from story, we go into the graphics, which you get to see with the old peepers. And actually, man, the graphics are super impressive in this game. Now, I played it majority in handheld mode, but the few times that I buckle it up on the old gaming monitor, I was quite impressed because that's really where you get to see the details. They really hammer home the paper aspect of this game. You can actually see the differences of cardboard, construction paper, the paper of the streamers. Everything is clean and crisp, and that it's just beautiful, honestly. I'm quite surprised. The special effects, the fire, the water, the smoke is insane to me because of how real the water looks at times and the smoke. It's honestly, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, this is some of the best water and smoke that I've seen in a video game. And I've played the Xbox One X in 4K, 60 frames per second. I've played PC games at 144 hertz. Like, and this is the most impressive? My boy Paper and Mario? Come on. But it's a true story, guys. Then we go into sound. The sound's not going to blow you away here. You know, there's no voice acting. The score, the music is always incredible in Mario, and there's no exceptions here. You still have your, you know, your random noises and sound effects that you always have. So as far as that goes, it's all on point. So guys, let's get into the gameplay aspect, and this is where things get super sticky for your boy, Mr. C. Because at its core, Paper Mario has always been an RPG. Even if you take it back way back in the day to the Super Nintendo days, where our team Squaresoft actually developed it, and Nintendo just published it. Nintendo doesn't typically develop Paper Mario, or back then it was called Super Mario RPG. So it's always been an RPG. It's supposed to have the heart and the soul of an RPG. And they typically do. In this game, they take the fighting system, which is super complex, kind of hard to explain. I'm going to do my best for you guys, though. So it's more of a turn-based RPG fighting style. So you have your enemies on screen, and you can attack them so you can get that first hit, or as you progress in the game, sometimes that first hit automatically kills them, and you don't even have to do the battle. But once the battle system comes up, it's almost like a bullseye, or a target in darts, and you have a circular motion, and you have a motion like this. And you have enemies on screen, and everything is done in 4s. So you have to line up the enemies in a straight line, going this way, or right in front of Mario, 1, 2, 3, 4, in a square. And depending on if you can do that in a certain amount of time and moves that they give you, then you set up a perfect match. And what that does is it adds a 1.5 multiplier to Mario's move, and Mario pretty much has 2 moves outside of his items. He has the jumping, where he jumps on the enemies, 1, 2, 3, 4, going backwards, or he gets out his hammer and smashes the 4 guys in front of him. So if you don't do this perfect move, you lose the 1.5 multiplier, as well as you're not going to kill the enemies before they get a turn. So if there's 2 groups of 4, you get 2 shots to kill them all. If there's 3 groups of 4, you get 3 shots. So if they're not in this perfect line, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 enemies that you're potentially not going to hit. Therefore, they're going to have a turn to hit your boy Mario. So it's the puzzle aspect that I found odd. It was fun and charming at times, and at times it was super annoying. Matter of fact, towards the end of this game, and you can expect about a 30 to 60 hour game, depending on how you want to collect things and spend in these worlds. But towards the end of the game, I just honestly sometimes just wanted to flee because I just didn't feel like trying to solve the puzzle before I could fight. And the fighting itself isn't that complex, to be honest with you. You just pick one of these 2 moves. You don't get to upgrade Mario. You don't get to spend XP points on Mario. Everything is done very linear. You upgrade Mario by getting more HP just through finding hearts or by story progression. There's not like, hey, I want to use more points on upgrading my hammer or upgrading my stomps. Matter of fact, usually in Paper Mario or in most RPGs, you have a companion who helps you. This doesn't happen in this Mario. You do come across companions. However, those companions are on autopilot. They either don't help you at all, or they help you once you've had your turn and they do their own thing. So it's missing that heart and that soul of an RPG. And I found it very weird, to be honest with you, because I'm a long time RPG and Paper Mario fan. And this is by far the most confusing part of this game for me. So guys, on to my final thoughts of Paper Mario Origami King. Overall, I really did enjoy this game. The story was decent, but the world was actually super captivating. It was told in these large open areas. For instance, one time you're in a theme park, and it was just really well done. There's a lot to explore there. There's these Toad collectibles that actually help you out in this grid-based system. They fill the stands and kind of help Mario out the more you find. So I enjoyed aspects of Paper Mario. However, and the graphics were amazing. However, the combat system just was completely in shambles, and it was really missing the heart and soul of an RPG, which at the end of the day is what it was supposed to be. Without that, they should have just made it a platforming game, honestly, and I would have probably even enjoyed it more. But the fact that you tried to do an RPG by just kind of dipping your toe in the water, it just didn't feel right. So ultimately, even though I enjoyed my experience, it's one that is technically missing on a lot of key components. And for that, I would give Paper Mario Origami King a 7.75.
Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C.